Blades, listen. Can you hear that? It's the sound of silence. A cold, chilling silence that has descended upon Bramall Lane. A quiet so profound it feels like a physical weight on your chest. It's the hollow echo in an empty stadium where a roar should be. It's the suffocating stillness you feel after the final whistle blows on yet another defeat, leaving you staring into the void, asking the same question over and over. What has happened to our Sheffield United? There's a sickness that has taken root in the heart of the Steel City, isn't there? It's a bitter taste in your mouth and not in your stomach. You can see it in the vacant, haunted stares of the players, and you can hear it in the anguished, frustrated whispers that haunt the stands long after the floodlights have mercifully gone dark. This start to the season hasn't just been a nightmare. It has been a public humiliation, a slow, agonizing descent into a private hell we all thought we had clawed our way out of years ago. The pride, the fight, that unbreakable, bloody-minded working-class spirit that defines this club and this city. It feels like it's being systematically dismantled, eroded week by painful, gut-wrenching week. We've become a ghost ship, adrift in a sea of mediocrity, with no captain and no direction. But listen closer. Underneath this crushing, suffocating blanket of despair, something is moving in the shadows. Something is stirring. Deep within the corridors of power at our club, behind boardroom doors that have felt locked and barred to us, a violent, chaotic storm is gathering force. It began as a whisper on the wind, a desperate rumor born from the terraces. But now that whisper has become a roar. A storm is about to break over S2 with a ferocity that nobody, absolutely no one, could have predicted would happen this fast. This hard. What is unfolding as we speak is not just a knee-jerk reaction to a string of terrible results. This is a seismic event. A foundational crack has appeared in the club's entire philosophy, and tonight the very ground beneath our feet has fractured. We are standing on the precipice of a moment that could be our salvation, the first step towards an impossible redemption. Or it could be the final push that sends us spiraling into complete and utter chaos. Can a football club truly rediscover its soul when it's on the brink of total collapse? The story that is breaking tonight is a saga of failure, of betrayal, of staggering desperation, but also of a potential return so audacious, so emotionally charged, it borders on the insane. We have 3 monumental developments to dissect, each one more shocking and consequential than the last. So, I need you to do one thing for us, for this community. Hit that like button and subscribe right now with notifications turned on. You cannot afford to miss a single second of what is about to be revealed. This is everything. That suffocating silence, Blades? It was the final agonizing breath before the axe fell. The club has finally mercifully put us out of our misery. Ruben Sells has been sacked. His tenure is over. Gone! The statistics are a horror story in themselves. 6 consecutive defeats to start the season. Not a single goal scored in our last 4 matches. And the final, unforgivable indignity, that utterly soul-destroying 5-0 public execution at the hands of Ipswich Town. That wasn't just a loss. It was the death of an idea. It was the moment the board's grand experiment was exposed as a catastrophic failure in front of the entire footballing world. Let's be brutally honest with each other. Was this outcome not utterly, painfully inevitable from the very first whistle of the season? We are rock bottom of the championship, a laughingstock, staring into the abyss of League One, playing a brand of football so devoid of passion and ideas it felt like watching ghosts in red and white stripes. The so-called new philosophy is dead and buried. The board, after appointing a manager whose brief time here will be remembered as one of the most disastrous starts in our modern history, had their hands forced. They had no choice. But the sacking of a failing manager is no longer the headline. It's the footnote to a much bigger, more earth-shattering story. The real earthquake, the tremor that is shaking the very foundations of South Yorkshire tonight, is the name being whispered in the corridors of power as his replacement. A name that carries with it a tidal wave of complex, conflicting emotions. The memory of impossible glory, the sting of bitter heartbreak, and the promise of pure, unadulterated passion. The Daily Mail and the Sheffield Star are both reporting it. The club is exploring a sensational, almost unbelievable move to bring back Chris Wilder. Yes, you heard that correctly. The man himself. The man who dragged us from the mud and misery of League One, the architect of our incredible Premier League adventure, the man who is a blade to his very marrow, just like you and me. After all the history, the messy divorces, the public fallouts with former and current owners, the burnt bridges, how is this even possible? It feels like a fever dream, a desperate prayer from the terraces being answered in the most dramatic way imaginable. In our absolute darkest hour, the club is turning to the one man who understands the sacred soul of Sheffield United. It's a move born of sheer unadulterated desperation. It is a plea to a legend to come home and save us from ourselves all over again. But with his return comes 1,000 questions. Can we really go back? Is it an admission of failure from the board or a stroke of genius? His status is legendary, etched in the history of this club forever, but both of his previous reigns ended in acrimony. Can we risk a third heartbreak? This is a monumental gamble. And as big and as mind-blowing as this sounds, Blades, it's only the beginning of the madness unfolding tonight. What if I told you these whispers have already become deafening shouts? Those whispers are no longer whispers. They are roars. That exploration has become a negotiation. Blades, you need to brace yourselves for this. Football Insider is now reporting with confidence that Sheffield United is in advanced negotiations to reappoint Chris Wilder. A final agreement is said to be close, with an official announcement expected imminently. This is not a rumor anymore. This is not a possibility. This is happening. This is real. The prodigal son, the exiled king, is on the verge of returning to his throne at Bramall Lane for an unprecedented, almost mythical third time as manager. Can you even begin to process the sheer magnitude of this moment? The emotional whiplash is almost too much to handle. Let's be perfectly, brutally clear about what this signifies. This is a staggering, humiliating public U-turn from the American ownership. This is the ultimate admission of failure. The same hierarchy that callously and coldly sanctioned his dismissal just 3 short months ago after the playoff final heartbreak. The same boardroom suits who were so determined to force upon us a modern data-led, AI-driven strategy have come crawling back on their hands and knees to the very man they cast aside. Their soulless corporate experiment has imploded in spectacular fashion, and now they are begging the master of old-school heart, grit, and passion to come back and clean up their catastrophic mess. Is this not the most definitive and public admission of failure a board can possibly make? It's a victory for the football man over the spreadsheet. The reports state that Wilder is prepared to forgive and forget. Just think about the character of that man for a second. He was ruthlessly sacked after delivering a 90-point season, a total that would win you the league in most years. And yet, his love for this club for us is so profound that he's prepared to swallow his pride and walk back into the fire. He isn't coming back for the suits in the boardroom. He is coming back for the badge on the shirt and the fans in the stands. He knows he is inheriting a squad of ghosts, a team psychologically shattered and devoid of all confidence, yet he's ready for the fight. What is the single most important, non-negotiable change Wilder needs to implement from the second he walks through the door? This isn't just football news anymore. This is a drama of Shakespearean proportions unfolding in our city. It's a story of ego, redemption, and loyalty. The man who defines our modern identity, the man who gave us our pride back, is returning to do it all over again. It's a desperate high-stakes gamble, a Hail Mary in our hour of need. But even this monumental, mind-bending reunion, this return of a club icon, incredibly pales in comparison to what the club is secretly plotting behind the scenes as his first act. A returning king is one thing, but a king needs new weapons to wage a war, and this, Blades, is the masterstroke. This is the move that proves Wilder's return isn't just a short-term panic button designed to stop the bleeding. While the entire football world is reeling from the shock of his impending comeback, the club's hierarchy is already working in the shadows, plotting a surgical strike in the January transfer window. This isn't just about surviving the season anymore. This is about revival. The target? A name you need to remember. Mario Cozier-Duberry, the explosive, dynamic young winger from Brighton's academy. For those of you who haven't been watching League One, let me paint you a picture. Cozier-Duberry is a 20-year-old force of nature. He is pure, uncut adrenaline in football boots. Currently on loan at Bolton, he is setting that division on fire. We're talking about 2 goals and 2 assists already. But more than that, he has that priceless, unteachable quality. He makes things happen. He has pace to burn, a low center of gravity, and the sheer arrogance to take on his man again and again. He's known for scoring dramatic late goals, including a world-class long-range equalizer at the weekend. He is the absolute polar opposite of our current attack. Unpredictable, fearless, direct, and overwhelmingly exciting. Is a young, hungry, and fearless player like him, a player with a point to prove, the perfect antidote to our stale, predictable, and lifeless offense. Now, here's the genius of the plan, the proof that this is a calculated strategy. Brighton has a recall clause in his loan contract for January. According to respected journalist Alan Nixon, Sheffield United are already in position, preparing to pounce with a formal bid the second that window opens. This changes the entire narrative. It reframes the Wilder appointment from a desperate panic move to the first decisive step of a long-term rebuild. They're not just bringing back the ultimate man manager. They are simultaneously targeting the exact profile of young, hungry, aggressive player he loves to build his teams around. It's a two-pronged assault on our mediocrity. Fix the present with a leader we trust, and aggressively build the future with talent that fits his vision. So let this all sink in for a moment. In the space of one chaotic evening, the club has purged the abject failure of the Sells era. We are on the verge of welcoming home the man who, for many of us, is Sheffield United. And we have learned that the board is already planning to arm him with the next generation of talent. This is not three separate news stories, Blades. This is a coordinated revolution. This is a statement of intent. Whatever happens from here, whatever twists and turns this season still has in store for us, remember this night. This is the night we stopped feeling sorry for ourselves. This is the night we started to fight back. This might just be the night that everything changed at Bramall Lane. So what is your raw, unfiltered gut feeling on Wilder's sensational return for a third time? Is a dynamic young prospect like Cozier Dewberry the exact type of signing that can ignite our season and our hope? The comment section is your space. It's the digital terrace of Bramall Lane, our pub after the match. We want to hear your passionate, honest, and unfiltered opinions on every single detail you've just heard. Don't hold back. Let it all out below. This channel is more than just news. It is a community, a fortress for every single fan who lives and breathes this club. It's a place for the diehards, for those who have seen it all. If you believe in this club, if your heart beats in rhythm with the Greasy Chip Buddy song, then you belong here with us. Become part of this family. Prove you stand with the Blades now more than ever by hitting that subscribe button and turning on all notifications. Don't just watch this story unfold from the sidelines. Be a part of the conversation that will define the future of our season. Smash that like button to show the football world that our spirit is not and will never be broken up the Blades.